This is the voiceover for How the Crow Got His Laugh. It was strange for the grandmother, sitting in such a noisy room, the television going in one room, the stereo in another, and the noises from the street outside. She wondered how anyone could live in such crowded cities. Maybe it was time to get her granddaughter to walk with her to the park. At least it was a place with trees, birds, and where other little four-legged creatures lived. Since she couldn't seem to get into the rhythm of the streets on her own, she asked her oh-so-serious granddaughter if she would go out with her. Reluctantly, her granddaughter agreed. She grabbed her laptop and her music player and said, "Let's go. I love you, Grandma, but I really need to study for these tests." When they reached the park, the granddaughter laid out a blanket for her Nana and went to sit on a nearby bench to study. As the granddaughter sat, trying to quiet her mind, a group of younger people came by. Although they were young, they looked like they had just stepped out of the 1960s. They came over to the grandmother, sat down on the grass next to her, and asked her where she was from. She had such a gentle but out-of-place look to her. She told them that she was visiting family and that she lived on a reservation. Meanwhile, her granddaughter kept a close watch to make sure her Nana was safe and okay. After all, she was not used to the ways of the city. Just about the time the granddaughter was going to say maybe it was time to go, she heard the group laughing, and then she heard her Nana say, "This is the story as it was told to me." It is a story of how the crow got his laugh. Long ago, when the grass grew tall and the songs of a butterfly could be heard in the spring, there lived a crow, a very serious crow. He was wise beyond his years. He could fly as high as a small red hawk. He never spoke unless he felt that what he had to say was very, very important. He was a most serious bird. To him, knowledge was the most important thing. So he flew high and low, always seeking it. And no matter how much he learned, it was never enough. For he knew that something in his life was missing. One day, as he flew across a great mountain, he heard an odd sound, something he had never heard before. In search for more knowledge, he dove out of the sky to see two funny-looking creatures fighting over a stick. They walked on two legs and only seemed to have hair on the top of their heads, and they were covered with animal skins. As Crow watched, he saw that they were fighting over a long stick that kept getting shorter and shorter each time one of them took it from the other, until there was not much of the stick left. He watched as both of the creatures grabbed the last piece, and after doing so, they both fell into a mud hole, losing the last of the stick as they fell. As Crow continued watching them, he felt an odd sensation in his throat. Then his beak opened wide, and he let out a sound he had never heard before. It was a laugh. It was a good sound, and it made him happy. The crow learned to laugh that day, and he found out it is great to be serious. But he learned that a little laughter was also a good thing. What Crow had been missing in his life was fun and joy. He found that not all knowledge had to be serious or profound, just knowledge. And so, Crow learned how to laugh. He passed this gift on to his children, who to this day still find us two-legged creatures a great source of merriment. And that's how the story was told to me. After her Nana finished the story, The group and her granddaughter, who had been listening, grew quiet and asked for another story. The grandmother thanked them for listening and said, "Maybe tomorrow. Now it is getting late, and it is time to go back." The granddaughter hugged her and whispered, "Thank you, Nana. I will try to be more like the crow. I'll remember to laugh more often. And I promise to visit you on the reservation so you can tell me some more of those wonderful stories."